What's going on, guys? Coach Colin here, coolest high performance coach in the world. And if you want the best, absolute best insights to the podcast that you love and some that you may not even know about, you need to smash that subscribe button. Smash it now. Give me the little bell. Fill the bell in with white or with blue, whatever your screen looks like. I don't know why you're not on dark mode if you got your thing blue. You should be on dark mode like a normal person. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. But let's get into it. I am with Steven Pressfield and Joe Rogan right now, episode 1901. It's such a good episode. It just brings me right back to Joe Rogan. I don't know how long you guys have been watching Joe Rogan. I've been watching him since, like, legit, like watching, like, as things are happening since episode, I think, 230. I've been watching him for a long time. And this just gives me that same type of energy, which really makes me feel like Steven Pressfield needs his own podcast. Oh, the Joe Rogan. Yeah, see that right there? Joe Rogan with one eye. I know people are going to think I'm a part of the Illuminati. Let me just give him two eyes. I don't want people to think part of the Illuminati. When it comes to that kind of talk about the Illuminati and stuff like that, I've been looking into this stuff for 20 years now, okay? I've been around since woke was a good thing. You don't even remember that time. Woke used to be a good thing. You used to be like, stay woke. And then you tell somebody about what the government's doing behind the scenes. And now being woke just means that you eat granola and soy and crickets and do all sorts of other things that I won't get into on this channel. But let's get into what this clip's about. We're at 45 minutes and 1 second. Joe talks about the importance of programs, the importance of following something, not leaving your goals and dreams and things you aspire to do as open-ended, actually having something you follow strictly. These are the things that make it so you see somebody lose 100 pounds, create a business, etc. I have a deep belief in this as well because of my own program. I'm like reading this, but I'm like, oh yeah, this is me now. Yeah, I have my own program that I follow, and it's called the Habit Chain System, and I made it myself because I'm a high performance coach. I've put a lot of people through it, and I notice just the fact that people are following and tracking something completely turns their lives around, completely. So I completely agree with them in this sense. Go ahead and listen to the clip. It's great. Let's go.
I think projects are really important for people. Because things to concentrate on that's like a solid, tangible thing.
Yeah, it's like your sober October. You know?
Yeah. Or a book, right? Or a comedy special, or so like I think if people just have sort of open-ended things and just like I'm trying to eat healthy, I'm trying to lose weight. Like, how are you trying to lose weight? Like, what are you doing specifically? Like, what's the program you're on? Like, show me the program. Well, I try to get to the gym more. No. Every fucking day, show me what you're doing. Let's go. Show me what you're doing. Like, let's form a real program. And if you do that, then you see the real changes. Yes. That's when you see people lose like 100 pounds and start getting really healthy, or write a book. You're like, you finish the book, and then you read the book, like, holy shit, this is great. Yeah. Because you realize they had a goal. They got together with that mindset, and they went to work. And if you just kind of dilly-dally and you don't have a very specific goal and direction, it's very hard to make real headway. It's very hard to really accomplish a thing.
The other thing to me, and I'm just speaking for myself, is it's not enough to have just a generic goal, a goal that anybody else could do, like I'm going to lose X number of pounds or I'm going to do that. I think it needs to be something creative that's coming from with you that only you could do, even if it's a business. If you're going to design motorcycles, you're going to build a motorcycle, whatever it is, because then when you have a project like that, like a book, right? You're going to write a book, right? That book has a life of its own, or you make a movie, or you start a business, or whatever it is. That thing has a life of its own, and particularly if it's coming out of your heart and your inner self. Like for me, or for anybody that writes a book, nobody else could write that book, whatever it is. You're in your own lane. tapped into something that's coming from you, from your deepest self, you know? And as the weeks and months go by, shit comes into you from all kinds of places that you never knew you had in you. And that's an amazing experience, you know? And by the end of that book, you look at it, you go, I wrote that. Or you even say to yourself, that's not me. You know, where did that come from? But it is you because you did it, you know, or if you start a business and suddenly it becomes, you know, whatever it becomes.
Yeah, there's no way Steven Pressfield hasn't done DMT or acid or something. Like, he must have been doing acid back in like Timothy Leary days, because he is out there with his mindset. I don't know. It's wild. I've done a lot of acid, so I can usually smell it on somebody when they have to. It's, but what Joe was talking about, you know, open-ended, like, it's so true. Like, how are you going to do the thing that you want to do? You know how many times I've like asked people about certain things? You know, like, I'm a coach and I don't try and coach everybody I interact with, but I'll ask those little questions like, oh, what are you doing to get there? And they'll be like, oh, I don't know. And then they'll like, kind of like rattle some things off. And I'm just like, at least write it down, man. Like, what do you mean you don't know? Like, is it important or isn't it important? Like, if it is important, then write it down. Like, no, like, wouldn't that make the most sense? You know, like, you want to lose weight, like, you should at least write, like I used to know a guy who went to the gym and he wanted to get big. And I'd be like, what program are you following? And he would just be like, it's in my head. And I would be like, what are you talking about? And he'd be like, it's in my head. I just know it in my head. This guy, to this day, has been working out for, how long ago was that? At least 12 years, and has made zero progress. Zero. And anybody who knows me, they definitely know who this guy is. So, but he's made no progress at all, like nothing, like literally no change in anything. It's the weirdest thing, but it's because he refuses to write it down, you know? And how many of us, because I know I have things that I should be writing down that I'm not, like, you know, I go above and beyond. I write down my ideal self. I write down the things I want to see happen in the next, you know, year, maybe 4 years. You know, I should even be more specific about that. But like, I write down some things, but there's some things I don't write down that I should, you know, like I have, like, even just now when it comes to working out, I just started writing down like my sets, like how many sets or how many reps did I do? How many sets did I do? And I started writing down how I felt afterwards, just to really like track things. Like whatever you write down, whatever you can, like whatever you write down, you can track, and whatever you write down, you can measure, and whatever you measure, you can change. So it's like, you know, you got to write things down. But then when Steven Pressfield kind of went into the whole like metaphysical thing of like, it should only be you. It's like, you know, somebody wants to lose 100 pounds versus somebody else that wants to lose. You can basically, it is something that's just you. It is really akin to only being you. Like only you can lose 100 pounds off your body, but you know, you're going to do it the same way that most people do. You're going to exercise, you're going to eat properly, you're going to do cardio, you're going to buckle down, right? You're going to have an eating window. So he gets a little metaphysical there, but like, I just wanted to like really focus in on like how important it is to actually have a program that you follow, you know, like in anything. Like think about an aspect of your life that you wish was better, and then ask yourself, do I have it written down? Do I have a vision of what I want that to look like in the future? Do I have that written down? Do I have this measured or set out in any way at all? Or is it something that you just think about from time to time? Because if it's just something you think about from time to time, not much is going to happen. It's just not. It's hard. It gets hard. And what I always tell people that I'm working with, you know, when I have them writing down all this stuff, sometimes some people think it's like a little tedious, a little silly. It's like, it's your life. Like, shouldn't you treat your life like it's important? Like, how many times have you been in school and a teacher tells you to write down some nonsense that you're never going to use again? And you did that, no problem, because you knew that you should. But like, when it comes to your own life, you're like, nah, it's in my head. Nah, I don't need to write it down. And sometimes we don't write it down because we don't want to actually see on paper how far we need to go, how far we need to go in order to achieve the thing, and how little progress that we've made in the time that we've had this thing in our mind as a goal. And those are gut punches. Those are serious gut punches. Like I track my weight, and I walked into the holiday season at 225 or 226, and now I'm 238 as of this morning. I gained like 12 pounds, and it sucks. When I see it on the scale, I go, oh my God, I was so close to 220. Like, what'd you do? What'd you do? But at least now I know how much I have to lose. I know how much I've screwed up. Like, it's a good thing. It doesn't feel good at first. It feels uncomfortable. It feels a little shitty. But then you push through. You push through. So, yeah, I just wanted to go over that clip. Man, this podcast, I'm telling you, man, there's a link in the description. Go and watch this podcast. Go and watch this podcast. Everybody has Spotify. It's completely free to watch Joe Rogan. I mean, just, it's such a good thing. Like somebody was asking me what the point of this channel was. And it's like, man, when I was really young and really depressed, I really was in a dark place, and I found interviews, and those interviews like opened up my mind to so many different perspectives. And it started opening me up to the fact that people do stumble, people do end up in dark places, but they rise out of them. And as soon as I started hearing that times, 100 different podcasts, I started to realize that my life could be like that too. I started to learn things. I started to learn from people. It just, I don't know. For me, that's what podcasting did. That's why I do this. That's why I have this channel. And, I do think that if you listen to positive, open-minded, critical thinking ideas, and if you start opening your mind to just different people, different perspectives, it can change things for you. You'll find that one person that makes everything just snap, and you go, that's me. I can do that too. Like, I don't know. But anyways, episode 1901, Stephen Pressfield. Check out his book too, The War of Art. It's great. All right, I'm out. Peace.